Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A, and today I'm going to do my favorites for the year 2018. And these are the drugstore and affordable item makeup items. So I have a lot of stuff to talk about, so we'll just start it off. And I hope that if you haven't seen it already, you will have a look over at my video all about the favorites from the high-end makeups. So I will link that below. Now, drugstore and affordable makeup shouldn't really be shunned. I don't care if you're just a Nordstrom shopper or you just shop in Sephora. Once in a while, there are things that show up in the drugstore that will blow you away. And some of these items actually work better than high-end luxury items that cost 10 times the price. So I'm going to talk about a few things. Let's start with some tools. This is something that I ran into in Walgreens. It was done like a little ornament. It's very strange. From ECOTOOLS or ECOTOOLS. This is their version of the Beauty Blender sponge. If you notice, it actually has a, it's cut, it's sort of angle cut, and it gets underneath your eye really well. It's just wonderful sponge. Now, it's slightly stiffer than the original Beauty Blender, but you don't notice when it's, wet and you've squeezed out the excess moisture and then you're putting things on. I actually like the cut edge and the little slant top. I like it much better than just the regular egg-shaped Beauty Blender. So it actually is better than the Beauty Blender, and it runs around $5.99. So for like $6. And the Beauty Blender is $20, so it's quite a savings, and you're not sacrificing any quality or performance. So it's great. It cleans really well. It does not fall apart like the Real Techniques ones have lately, and I'm really liking it. So the ECOTOOLS Total Perfecting Blender, it's called. On my nails, I don't know when the last time was you put press-on nails, but these have the glue already on them. These are the Kiss stick-on nails, and they already have the glue on them, and these are the short ones. I actually cut them and filed them so they look like natural nails. They really do. Now, these aren't the same press-on nails we used when we were, going to the disco and you would lose half a nail in your pantyhose, in the ladies' room. They still aren't as durable as like fake nails, actually attached with glue. But I tell you, for press-on, these work so nicely, and you can actually put nail polish on them as well. So I never talk about nails normally because I have the manicure of a truck driver. So these are the stick-on Kiss nails, and they're great. For setting sprays, I'm not a big fan of Morphe, but I do love their setting spray. This is a very light mist, and you just spray it on. This is extremely fine mist. It works really well. There is a slight scent to it, light perfumey, kind of flowery scent. It works really well. It holds your makeup in place. I think that's just fabulous. Primers. For face primer, I have been trying out the E.L.F. Hydrating Primer, and I like this the best in the drugstore element. This is about the best face primer you can do. And that primer, it gets put on between your skin and the makeup, the foundation. This makes a nice little barrier, especially if you have dry skin or combo to dry skin. It works really well. It's a gel-like dimethicone kind of formula. And you just, when you rub it in, it feels slightly greasy, but then it just absorbs quickly into your skin, and your skin just feels soft. It works really nicely. There is a slight, and I mean very slight, medicinal kind of a smell with that, but it's wonderful. For pores, now I have dry skin, but I have big pores on my nose, and I have a scar here right under my nose, and I have chin. This has been working really well, but you can only use it on actual pores. You can't use it all over your face, and you cannot use it like in general as a face primer. This is the Master Blur Stick from Maybelline, and there's 3 colors. There's the translucent, which is no color. There's this one, which is the light medium, and then there's a darker shade that goes from dark to tan. There's nothing that goes darker than that. I would say if you're outside of the realm of these color range, you can go with the translucent. But basically, if you put this on, like my nose is very, very big pores. I mean, right in front of your eyes, the pores will disappear. It's just amazing. But I tried putting it on my cheeks and it just clung to any little dry patches I had. So I can't use it as a face primer. But man, I tell you, if you have just right around my nose area, this is just perfect. And my scar, it gets rid of my scar. So that's a pretty good primer there for pores. For color correcting, this is actually a little expensive. I think it's almost towards the high end, but you can get this at Target. This is the PIXI Brightening Peach Correction Concentrate, and it comes in a little jar, and it looks like a light salmon color, but it brightens so nicely. I mean, it just does such a good job brightening. So I just tap that in and then I set it with a little bit of powder, and it just works really well. It's a color corrector. They do have different levels of tonal quality to it, so if you're darker skin you can go with a darker shade, but this particular one is the Peach Brightening, which I believe is the lightest shade of that, and it works really nicely as a color corrector. So you have dark patches, discolorations, dark purple, anything like that. This really helps with that, and that's from PIXI, and you can get that in Target. For eye primer, I've been enjoying this. This is the Ulta Beauty brand. This is the matte eye primer, and it's in a slight light beigey color. I like this better, a little bit better than the Milani eyeshadow primer. There's just a little bit of coverage there to help with any discoloration. I don't like to get this one too close to my inner corner because that's where you see all the cracks. All around here in the crease and then up to the lid, this is perfect for it. And this is the Ulta brand matte eye primer. It's fabulous. Now, as an alternate, if I'm wearing bright colors, this is a wonderful thing, and I saw this on Shake Up Makeup. You basically draw a few stripes and you blend them in, and this is your eye base. It's actually the NYX Crayon in Milk, but that works really nicely to even out the color tone of your eyelids so that when your eye color shadows go on, they really pop. They really look like they're supposed to. So that's pretty nice too. For concealer, this one won I think last year. I really like this. This is the LA Girl, and it's the Pro Conceal from LA Girl. And they have a couple of colors. There's a huge difference in them. This one is porcelain, and the porcelain actually is darker than you would think it should be. It has a brush applicator. This is the porcelain. Just going to show you there how it covers really well. This one works really well if you have dry eyes, textured eyes, wrinkles, things like that. You press it in with your ring finger and then you press a little bit of powder in to set it, and it works really well. And this comes in an immense amount of shades. And that's really nice if you have darker skin, because nothing's worse than the raccoon look because you've got too light of a concealer on. In fact, they start off with porcelain, which I believe is more of a light shade rather than a porcelain light. So they actually start off a little dark with it. So that is the Pro Conceal from LA Girl. For foundation, nothing better than this. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this. This is the Outdoor Girl foundation. I got this for $3.50 in one of those train wreck kind of places called Ocean State Job Lot. and I know it is still available online. I do have a couple of other options in case you don't find this, but this is nice. It feels like a BB cream or a CC cream, something very hydrating, and yet you get that color pigmentation and it lasts really well. It goes over dry skin so nicely, and it's the Outdoor Girl. It comes in several different shades. I'm loving this. I do have a backup for it, so this is great. Outdoor Girl. I don't have one with me today because I just ran out of it and I have not replaced it. They were sold out of my shade at my Ulta, but Ulta does carry Catrice, and it's the Catrice HD foundation. That is my second favorite. I'll just put a little picture here of that for you. But that one goes on really nicely. They're saying it kind of mimics the Fenty Beauty formula. So if you like the Fenty Beauty foundation, which I love, and I do have Fenty Beauty here, this is a very similar formulation, and that is the Catrice HD foundation. Now the third runner-up is something you can get in Europe and in outside of the US, and I'm very conscious of the fact that many of you live outside of the US and are not able to get some of the products we talk about here on YouTube. But this is the Healthy Mix Serum, and I tell you, boy, this is the vanilla. I think this is Cool Vanilla. This is a wonderful foundation. It really is. I love the Bourjois brand. I think they're out of Paris. Or out of France, somewhere in France, and they have the regular foundation and then they have the serum foundation. I think this is slightly more hydrating, but this is really, really a nice all-around foundation. For powder, I've been talking about it and I haven't used it yet in front of you. This is the RCMA powder. You can get it online. It's anywhere from $8 to $12 for this big old jar of it. So it's just as inexpensive as any drugstore powder, and I use it as my high-end powder. It will also win as my drugstore powder because it works so well and it's so inexpensive. It's definitely a wonderful product. So that's the RCMA No Color Face Powder. I want to talk about brushes for a minute because there's a brand that just keeps coming up in my collection, and I'm just showing a few random pieces here. They're all Real Techniques. All the brushes I love are from Real Techniques. This is from last year's special set. It is a flat top kabuki brush that has the duo fibers, and this is this year's set, which has the clear kind of pastel-y handle. This is a nice flat top buffer brush for foundation. Their eye brushes are wonderful, especially their smaller ones, which you can use to smudge under your eye or get into the corner, do detail work just under the brow. And then this is my favorite crease brush, which is one of their staples in their collection. Then I have a blending brush. Then there's a regular shadow brush. I love Real Techniques. I think they are just an outstanding brand and affordable for makeup brushes. And I have more of these than any other brand. So I do have a couple that are high-end. But I really love these, and even some of these individually, they do have some that are a little more expensive than others, but I tell you, I'm just loving them. Even the brow brush is good. Yeah, I have just so many, you know, I just love them. So that is the Real Techniques brushes for makeup. For blush, it was actually pretty easy this year. I love these blushes from Essence. I think it's Coral and Love are the two shades. These are the Satin Blush, Satin Touch blushes. Really, really pretty. They go on beautifully and they last as long as any high-end blush, and they run around, what, $4, $5? So these are the beautiful Satin Touch blush from Essence, which is a very, very inexpensive drugstore line. For highlighter, there was one standout and one staple, so I will show you both. The standout I discovered this year, and that is the Master Chrome from Maybelline, and this is in Molten Rose Gold. This is just a beautiful highlighter. It's not too chromy metallic looking, and it's still flattering on an over 40 face. So you can put it on over the top of your blush. It makes a beautiful kind of glow to your skin without being too over the top. Now my staple has always been the Essence Nude, Pure Nude, which is a very, very subtle, see if we can put it right there. Yeah, you can't even see it. It's that subtle, you can't even see it. Emperor's New Clothes here. Yeah, there it is. It just looks so pretty. It just makes your skin look like you're glistening a little bit, like you're healthy. And I like that. I think makeup that makes you look healthy is the best. So this is the Maybelline Master Chrome in Molten Rose Gold. And then this is the Essence Pure Nude. And I love them both. They're slightly different colors, and I wear them both intermittently. For bronzers, you know, once you discovered this bronzer, it's hard to go with any others. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and it's just a very light and subtle, pretty glow to the skin. So it gives you that healthy, I've been out in the sun even though it's December kind of look, and it just makes you look great. It's particularly good in the décolleté area, or if you're wearing a low neckline. Some of this around the neck and the bone structure area is really, really pretty. It does come with a mirror, and it also comes with kind of a sponge applicator. This used to be a brush, and now it's a spongy thing. I'm not so keen on that, but in an emergency, I guess you can use it. Just a very clever thing. Now, there is a coconut smell to this, and some people don't like that, so just be warned that there is a coconut smell, but I like that. Physicians Formula, and that is Butter Bronzer. Contour, and contour is very different than bronzer. I mean, contour to me is a structural thing. It makes a structure and dimension to your face. And I used to love Kevyn Aucoin's medium sculpting powder. And when I discovered this at like 1/10 of the price, I couldn't believe it. It's the same thing. It really is. It's the same color. It stays on the same way. It seems to apply the same way. There is a mirror to this. This is the E.L.F. contour palette, and both of these shades are wonderful. But this shade in particular, this is the Kevyn Aucoin medium sculpting powder color. It's just an exact dupe. So I have no reason to buy the Kevyn Aucoin powder anymore because it's very expensive, and this is what, $5.99 for this whole set. Now this bronzer is also a very nice bronzer. It's slightly darker and stronger than the butter bronzer, but I do love both of these. I don't use these two. I don't know why. They just never did it for me. But these two in here for the $5.99, this is just an unbelievable bargain. And this shade especially is perfect for giving you that structure that you need underneath the cheekbone to, look like you have a little bit more structure to your face, take down the chubby cheek thing. Also down here along the line, it just works wonderfully. So I do love this, and that is from E.L.F. Cosmetics. Eyes, Lips, Space is what E.L.F. stands for. Going into eye palettes, I have a small, a medium, and a large. I don't know how to, I mean, there were a lot of really good palettes that came out this year. The Rimmel Spice palette, There was the Milani palettes, they worked really nice. There's a couple of the Lemonade palette from Maybelline. But I got this on a fluke. This is the W7 Major Matte. And what this is it's an exact dupe for Too Faced Natural Matte Eye. I mean, unbelievable. It is pretty much the exact same thing. Now, it's not quite as pigmented as the Too Faced, but it is so close. And this cost me, I think this cost me $4 in Ocean State Job Lot. But if you have access to W7 Cosmetics, the Major Matte palette, it has all your basics in there. I mean, you can do your basic lid, and then you've got your transition color, and then you can use this in your crease. You can use any of these dark shades in the corners, and then you've got this pink here again for warming up the transition, or the orange for warming up the transition. It's just a wonderful basic palette, and I love it. And this is my winner for the small drugstore palette for 2018. And the medium palette, NYX came out with this, and I've been playing with it. I really enjoy using this, and I'm not finding that the colors are extremely long lasting. If I use a primer and I use a setting spray, they do last through my workday. But there's just such a wonderful assortment of colors here, and it's very well thought out. There's a light shade for your base, there's a medium crease color, and then there's all these wonderful colors to work with, and a lot of dark shades for your outer corner and for lining. And there's an assortment of mattes and satins and some glitter, not really, but it's mostly satiny. And I love it. I think this is a wonderful palette. It did not win the best of the year because this other palette blew it away a little bit. So, palette of the year. And I can't believe it's Morphe because I don't like Morphe, but I loved this palette. This is the James Charles palette, and it's actually in the price zone. I think it's more high end because I think this runs around $40. This is the James Charles palette. I know that it ran some controversy because there's no mirror on this, but some of these shades, and I marked in orange here, I don't know if you can see, I marked in orange the shades that are effective, but they're pigments, pressed pigments, and they are made with dyes rather than other types of pigments. And so they can stain your lids, and some people were concerned, especially this color, can stain your lids. You can use a coconut oil makeup remover and get it off, but people are concerned with their health, their eye health. I just found all of these that have the red mark on them, they're all affected. They're all the pigments. These are all the pigments, the ones with the red marks. So I enjoyed this palette so much. I don't understand why he chose these particular colors to be the larger pans, these in the middle, because I don't use these the most often. A couple of them I use a lot, but I generally play around with this. You've got your basic matte lid shade, you've got your crease shade, you've got your corner shade, and then you've got a gazillion colors: greens, blues, turquoise, purples, pinks, reds, browns, grays. Absolutely fabulous. This is a wonderful all-around palette. This is my palette of the year, James Charles. And I do get a kick out of him. I tried to stay away from all the drama that went on this year with him. Remember, he's only a kid. He's like 19 years old. And God bless him, you know, he does a good job demonstrating things. He's got a funny sense of humor, and I like it. I think Morphe kind of threw him under the bus when people started to complain about the pigments staining their eyeballs, and he didn't really understand the whole science of everything. He just picked the colors, so he took a lot of heat for that, and unfortunately Morphe did not come to his rescue. But hopefully people have forgiven him for this and will revisit this palette, because it is a beautiful palette and it's got some gorgeous colors. And for a drugstore palette, this is really amazing, really is. For eyebrows, this is a company called EYELURE. and I love them. They have the best matching blonde brow pencil of any to my personal eyebrows. I love this. It's a high quality pencil. Yes, you have to sharpen it, but that's okay. You can fill in, you can draw little hairs, and then you've got the spoolie on the other end. It works really well. It's a terrific product. And EYELURE in general, they have wonderful eyeshadow palettes. They have a palette that's brow colors and eyeshadows at the same time. That actually probably should have won my palette of the year, but there wasn't quite enough of a variety of colors to that. But I love their brow pencils. I don't think they're talked about very much on here, and they're just wonderful. They rival Benefit or Anastasia. They're really, really good. So EYELURE brow pencil was my #1 brow product. Seconded only by the brow mascara from Ulta Beauty. This is the brow tint in blonde, and this is a very light color gel mascara type of thing. When you push it over your brow, it coats the brow hairs that are white and gray and makes them blonde again, so you look like you have more brows, and I like that. That's a really great thing. This is a second-year winner as well, I believe. The Ulta Beauty Brow Tint. I wanted to mention this because I wasn't sure if I was going to do a special skincare and lifestyle products best of 2018 or not. If I don't, I didn't want this to slip through. This is a Physicians Formula Rose All Day, and it's a serum, and what I do is I shake it up and I put like a drop on my hand, and then I push my primer on there and I put it in. It's mixed in with my primer, and it's a serum, and it's just gorgeous. There's a light rose scent, which I love, and it just gives that extra hydration for winter time. This is perfect. This is the smaller size. I think it's $6.99, and the larger size I think is $10.99. This is just wonderful from Physicians Formula of all places. But when you mix this with your primer, you get just an added bit of hydration and moisture, and I really like that. I think it's important in winter to not look too cakey and cracky and cupcake frosting-ish when you put your foundation on. Likewise, if you do drink wine, or if you have staining dark red or dark berry lipsticks, nothing like a wine wipe, and this is something that I use weekly. You know, I have chapped lips. I'm always biting my lip. So these things, it's just a thin little sheet of chemistry, and you rub it all over your lips, and then you take some tissue to it, and it takes out all the staining that's on the inside of your lips and around your lips from red wine especially, or from dark lipsticks that you can't seem to get rid of. I love these wine wipes. And I have linked below all the stuff that I'm talking about. If it's possible, some things are in the store only. For nail polishes, this is the Fresh Paint from Five Below. You can get these, they're like 3 for $5. This particular one is called Seaside, and it's gorgeous. It turns different colors. It turns from gold to kind of a pinky brown color. It's just beautiful, to a greenish color. It's almost like mermaid nail polish, and I don't have it on my nails right now because I wanted to show off the Kiss fake nails. Absolutely beautiful. Fresh Paint, and it's a cheap brand, and it works better than the Essie or Orly brands that cost a lot more. So it's hit or miss, you know. Sometimes they're really old if you go there because they're all in a big old bucket, you know, if you go into Five Below. But sometimes you can get lucky, and this is a new one, and I love it. It's a metallic color. For eyeliner, I have two. I actually have a liquid liner, which is the Jordana liquid line, and again I went to Walgreens where I usually get it, and it was sold out. So the liquid liner from Jordana is just wonderful. Not quite as good as the Trooper liner from Kat Von D, but I mean it holds its own as a drugstore product. For eye pencils though, PIXI takes it with this one. This is my favorite gray eye pencil, and I think this is a charcoal. Let me just have a look here. Jeweled Pewter, it's called. And it's kind of a shimmering gray. Really, really pretty. And that's from the PIXI line. And these are very much like the Cargo Swimmables. They're very much waterproof. And you can wear them all day, cry, whatever, and they stay put. This is the Jordana Liquid Eye Pencil, the 12-hour Made to Last Liquid Eyeliner Pencil, and I have the brown shade. This is just a marvelous thing. Jordana has wonderful products, and I think because they're so cheap, people just snub them. But I'm telling you, their liquid eyeliner pen and this, the liquid pencil, is just wonderful. It's a very creamy formula, but it stays put once you put that on. And I love the brown shade, just beautiful. I wish they had a better color range of these. While we're talking about liquid eyeliners, these are new to me this year. I hadn't used these in the past. These are all metallic eyeliners. The silver one here is from Profusion, and the others are from LA Splash. They are absolutely wonderful to add a little spark to your look. Let me just put one of these on so you can see. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's just, I have all the colors because I'm enjoying trying different ones. So far the silver seems to work the best. Now some of the cheaper glitter liners, once you put them on, it's almost like they're in water and the glitter just goes everywhere. It doesn't stay put in the line. The Profusion one pretty much stays put, and I'm very impressed with that. I think out of all of them, I like the Profusion one the best. But these are great, these metallic shimmer glitter liners. Just give them a try sometime. It really pumps up your look. For lip balm, this is the Neutrogena Revitalizing Lip Balm. And they do come with a slight color. I think this one is berry. Let me just put it on there. It's just a slight hint of color. I mean, not even enough to really acknowledge it. It does give you a little bit of color to your lips, which, as you know, as an older person, our lips just go so pale, so pale. This is a wonderful thing to have in your purse, especially in winter time, just to pull out and moisturize your lips. It looks good underneath other lipsticks. This is a nice moisturizing base. So the Neutrogena Revitalizing Lip Balm. For lip pencils, I have two, and I use them differently. They're different shades. One is very cheap. This is the LA Girl Ultimate Lip. Now they have some that are retractable and they have some that are pencils. They both work really well. There's a slight Crayola scent to them, but I'm telling you, they stay put all day. I have coffee, I have dinner, I have lunch, and they are still there. My lipstick's gone, but the liner's still there. So I know these work really well, and I'm from LA Girl, and they have a wonderful assortment of colors. So check them out. It's really nice. Now this one from NYX, I believe, is called Free Spirit, and I got that this summer. It's more along the tan color line, and I wear that with all my warm toned lipsticks, and it works really well. I think NYX has some of the best eyeliner and lip liner products out there. Revlon has one of the best drugstore formulas for lipsticks. This is Peach Parfait, which is I think my all-around favorite color of the year. It's just a very subtle coral and nude color. It's just very pretty on, and once you put it on, it brightens up your face, and it's not so sterilely nude that, you know, it kind of blends you out. It's got a kind of very pretty kind of look to it. I like the color a lot, Peach Parfait. And then the Soft Silver Red and Soft Silver Rose are also very pretty, slightly brighter colors than the Peach Parfait. That is the red, and then I think I have the Soft Silver Rose here, which is more of a cool tone. So warm, cool, and muted nude. It's a great, great assortment, and they are all from Revlon. From CoverGirl, this is the Demi-Matte formula, and the color is Streaker. This is a great nude lipstick, and it's from CoverGirl. Now, I also discovered through Little Poet Susan, Tempting Toffee is in the other formulation, and it's similar color to this, maybe slightly warmer tone. I really like it a lot. It's really nice. So CoverGirl has really impressed me this year with their products, because, and also they went cruelty free, which is great. This is Streaker from the Demi-Matte formula, but also check out that Tempting Toffee that Little Poet likes. My favorite nude lipstick is actually a very weird one. This is Revlon again, and this is kind of a sponge tip applicator. You twist it up and the hook comes out of the top. I don't know if you can see. The hook comes out of the top, and you get this beautiful nude shade. Looks a lot like Streaker, slightly warmer. This stays put all day. It's a wonderful application because it's almost like using a lip brush. And these are fairly new this year. This is the lightest shade called Pretty Kiss, and I like this very much. Pretty Kiss. For crayons, for lip crayons and that sort of thing, nothing has beaten out these, and these have been around for a few years now. These are the Neutrogena lip crayons. These are very balm-like formulation. This one is called Sweet Watermelon, and it's a very subtle shade. There is a strong fruit scent to these, but I do like it. This is a nice lip balmy kind of a lip crayon, and very hydrating, moisturizing, really good if you have dry lips. And my favorite long-lasting formula is the 24-hour Super Stay color, and it is Timeless Toffee and Make Me Blush, I believe is this one. The blush shade is a beautiful kind of a girly pink color, and then the Timeless Toffee is a beautiful nude. So between the two of these are my two favorites. Now what you do is you put the color on your lips, and then you wait for it to dry down, and then you pull out the other end, and you've got a gloss that goes over the top, a balm, and that seals in the color and it makes your lips moist. Just a beautiful assortment here. I love these two. My favorite two colors, Timeless Toffee and Make Me Blush. There was a K-Beauty brand in CVS this year that they introduced called JOAH. It's like Noah with a J. And this is a wonderful lip topper. They're calling it a liquid lipstick, but I think it's a beautiful lip topper. This is the shade, and this is in the shade Moi. Moi. I really like it. Very, very pretty, long-lasting, and it's one of the few products from the JOAH line that I actually like. Really, really nice, the liquid lipstick. I actually use it over the top of my lip pencil. Works really nicely. Okay, mascara is last. And I tell you, I was shopping in TJ Maxx, and I happened to see these sets called the Goddess set. And this is a line by Mana Kadar, who is a model. And these are not on her website anymore, so you can get them at TJ Maxx or Burlington Coat Factory. It's the Goddess brand. It is a dual-ended mascara. You can use either end, but this is my favorite. It's almost like It Cosmetics Tightline, only a little bit bigger. And I'm telling you, this gives you huge, super long lashes. Absolutely my favorite drugstore mascara, maybe even my favorite of all mascara. And I think they have a long-lasting Flutter mascara that they have on their website. I will link it below. It's not the same brush, it's a different brush. Now the other side feels like a drier formula, and that's the full lash formula. Just a slightly different brush wand. I think it's the same formula mascara. But that's Goddess. If you happen to see it in Burlington Coat Factory, it comes in a set with an eyeshadow palette, a brow pen, an eyeliner, and this. Definitely pick it up because it's the best deal ever. I'm going to go back to mine and get another one so I have a backup of this mascara because I love it. So, knowing that many of you probably won't have access to that kind of a thing, I was in Walgreens and they had a Wet n Wild special with nail polish, and they had a couple of eyeshadow palettes, and they had this mascara and a black lip liner. This is wonderful. This is the Make-A-Wear mascara from Wet n Wild. This gives you a wonderful big lash. It is inexpensive. Who knew that it would be a Wet n Wild one that would take it this year, because I've tried so many mascaras, and the only thing is maybe Lash Paradise from L'Oreal, but I am boycotting L'Oreal until they straighten out their act. So this is great. Make-A-Wear from Wet n Wild. It is the turquoise blue tube, so look for that. Absolutely wonderful. This you won't be disappointed in this one. So that does it for 2018, my best of drugstore products. As you know, I test things out on a weekly basis, and I'm always finding something new, so you never know what's going to win next year. There are so many good products coming out, and of course the business model is to release new things every 4 months in order to keep your business afloat, and a lot of these makeup companies really believe that. So we'll be seeing a lot more products, and if you are interested in a lifestyle, skincare, and hair care kind of best of 2018, let me know and I will make one. I'm not sure if that's anything that interests you or not, because I'm not really a skincare person and I don't like to talk about it, but I do have a lot of really good products I've been using this year. So just let me know in the comments if you want me to do that, and I shall. I hope all of you are having a wonderful holiday week here and having a wonderful end of your year. 2019 is a brand new start for a lot of us, and I know that I'm doing the weight loss thing. You know, you have that moment of zen where you see yourself from the side and you go, wait a minute, you know, was that me? What happened? You know, I was a size 8 like a few years ago, and I'm not anymore. And it really surprised me. I mean, I should know when my pants are getting a little tight and, you know, I have to go up a size in clothing. But I don't know, you go into denial, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to work on that next year. Maybe you can help me out with that. And I may extend out the baking part of my show. I'm not sure, because you know, it's makeup and baking. I'm not sure they go together. And also with the baking, I'm going to eat because I love cookies. So anyway, I hope all of you have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It really helps me out, and I love my subscribers. On January 1st, I will be announcing a giveaway for 2 winners, and they will be winning some really cool things. So everybody, have a wonderful week and a beautiful day. Take care. Toodles.